Chapter 12. Kate and the Civilization Beneath Her Feet. Kate didn't need to worry about being spotted as she traveled down the pole. To those on the ground below, she was just a dot among the labyrinth of bioluminescent tubes that lit up the city. As Kate descended, she could see that the height of the buildings varied according to the rise and fall of the ground, and she could make out groups of people gathered in what looked like parks between the buildings. Small streams of crystal clear water crisscrossed the mossy surface. Many of the parks had strange coils sticking out of the ground, 2 or 3 times the height of a person, and they were covered in dark green leafy plants. They reminded Kate of giant soft-served ice cream cones, although she cringed to think what flavor they would be. Spinach, maybe? Everyone seemed to be dressed in matching jumpsuits with only different colored belts to set them apart. It was all very strange, but there was something else. Something stranger. Just like the person who had passed her in the tunnel, they were all blue, from head to toe. Even their hair was blue. Kate was so busy staring at the blue people that she didn't notice that the platform had reached the bottom of the pole. The jolt of the pad hitting the ground startled her, and she instinctively crouched. Nobody seemed to have noticed her, though, so she straightened up and stepped off the pad. Fear quickly overtook Kate's sense of wonder, and suddenly she wanted to hide. She crouched down behind a large rock nearby, leaning up against it to steady herself. The damp green moss that covered the rock smelled like her street when the sun came out after a heavy summer rain. She loved that fresh aroma, but it reminded her of home. An incredible sense of sadness grew in her belly and worked its way up to her head until hot tears pushed out from the corners of her eyes. She sobbed into her crossed arms, trying not to make a sound. She felt so alone, so afraid, and she was getting so very hungry. Shh! What is that sound? Thiele motioned to her 2 colleagues to stand still so she could hear better. The 3 line workers were out doing their weekly rounds, checking for any issues with the bioluminescent tubes or water filtration systems in Ward 5. The job didn't pay much, but Thiele liked the work. It counted towards her education goals, and it got her outside. I don't hear anything. What do you hear? There. You hear it now? The other 2 line workers tilted their ears towards where Thiele was pointing. Sure enough, they could make out a faint, muffled sound coming from behind a big rock near the base of a vertical transport line that they were about to check. They approached the rock and slowly peered around it. Ah! Thiele and her coworker stumbled backwards when they saw Kate, who was curled up in a ball, crying. They wouldn't have been more surprised if they had found a unicorn or a baby dragon. They had heard about surface dwellers and seen pictures of them, but they'd never expected to meet one down here. Kate was equally startled and pushed her back against the damp rock, frantically looking for a way out. Thiele was the first to recover. It is okay, she said, fixing Kate's gaze. She raised one hand up, palm forward, then turned it over as if presenting something. It is okay, she said again, repeating the action with her hand. Kate relaxed a little at Thiele's gesture and her soft expression, but only a little. Who are you? How did you get here? Thiele asked. The other 2 line workers had been hanging back, but encouraged by Thiele's lack of fear, they stepped closer, causing Kate to shrink away from them. Thiele turned to her friends and motioned for them to give her some space. It is okay, she said once more. Who are you? Where did you come from? Kate paused before answering. Her head was swimming. I came from up there. Kate pointed upwards. Her voice had a squeaky tone that she tried to hide. I don't really know what happened. I came home from school. Her mind was racing, trying to make sense of everything. She looked up at Thiele's blue face, searching for some understanding. It was all so fast. I fell down a hole. Thiele looked surprised. I know it sounds crazy, but I came home from school with my sisters. My parents weren't home. There was this big hole in our backyard. I climbed into the hole and a hose had broken, and I fell. The more excited Kate got, the faster she spoke, her words tumbling together until she couldn't speak anymore. She started sobbing again. It is okay. It is okay. Thiele didn't know what else to say. She moved closer, pleased that Kate didn't shy away. We are not going to hurt you. We want to help you. I do not know how you got here, but I think it is best that we do not stay out here too long. There will be some who would love to see you, but you do not want to see them." Her two co-workers understood and nodded their agreement. Teal extended her hand. "Will you come with me?" Kate wasn't sure what Teal meant, but she accepted Teal's hand, strange as it looked with its long blue fingers. It felt warm and almost sticky. Now standing side by side, Kate was surprised to see that she was as tall as the blue girl, who was obviously older than she. While Teal spoke to Kate, the other two Nomies had their heads on a swivel, keeping an eye out for unwanted viewers. As far as they knew, this was the first ever contact with a surface dweller below the surface, and word would spread fast if she was spotted. "I am called Thiele. What do they call you?" "Kate. I'm Kate." It it's good to connect with you too," she said, then paused. "But if I can ask you, Thiele, what are you?" Thiele looked surprised at first, but she understood, and her expression softened. "Well," she said, "I am a nomie."